It's the Little League Intermediate World Series from Livermore, California, and a spot in the U.S. Championship game is on the line in a battle of 2-0 teams as Hawaii and Florida square off tonight. For Hawaii, Riley Omine has been part of the offense that has carried them through a couple of wins already, and he'll take the mound tonight, the first time he's been eligible to pitch in this tournament. We've only gotten to see him hit and run the bases so far. He will pitch tonight for Pearl City, Hawaii, the West Region champs. On the Florida side, they've had to come from behind late. Jackie Frazier, watch him at third base here, race home on an errant throw back to the pitcher. And he's great on the defensive side too, kind of spark plugs this Keystone Little League from Tampa, Florida, which has 2 walk-off wins in 2 games in Livermore. Florida and Hawaii squaring off. Winner goes to the international final, and the loser plays New Jersey tomorrow. Max Bear Park, Livermore, California. Game number 4 of the day, and you've obviously waited long enough for this one. If you're checking in with us now, thank you so much for joining us. Hawaii beat Ascension Parish, Louisiana 8-4 on Sunday. You see the errors, it was a little unsightly. Tremendous pitching. They needed these pitching performances. Propios a complete game, and Takahashi almost following suit on Monday. At the plate, here is the Hawaii order. Very good 1 through 6 or so, but they have gotten production everywhere in that order. There's very rarely a 1-2-3 inning with this Pearl City squad. And they will try to continue that in their 3rd game of the tournament.
And here we go, leading off the top of the first inning for the West, number 12, Dustin Schneider.
Against the right-hander Presley Bromberg, the ace of the Keystone Little League staff. Starts off Boston Schwager with a strike. Dribbled, tough play for Bromberg. Out at first, the call with Boston Schwager busting it down the line. Bromberg can do just about everything and gets himself off to a good start there. 5-inning perfect game in the Southeast Regional Final against Barrier Islands from South Carolina. And he starts Titan Takahashi with a strike as well. Takahashi, as we showed you, pitched into the 7th in the win the other day. Hits this one high hop for Frazier. Plenty of time to get Takahashi 2 down here in the 1st. Showed you Frazier before the game, handling things at second base.
And in third for the West, number 7, Kelton.
But Bromberg started Keystone's opener on Sunday against Bollinger Canyon, California. 2 1/3 innings, no hits. Struck out 4, but he walked 3. That drove the pitch count up. Threw 53 pitches, and they pulled him to keep him available for this game. And as it turned out, they did get here, but it sure wasn't easy. Now a ball and a strike to Kelton Onomura. Sometimes catches, sometimes plays first base, sometimes occasionally pitches. Behind the plate today. These teams both 2-0, so the winner goes straight to Saturday's U.S. Championship game. The loser plays Toms River East, New Jersey tomorrow. Keystone already had a memorable game against Toms River East. Yeah, Onomura not going to get cheated. He's going to take his hacks up there. Spoils that one foul. Fourth game of the day. Puerto Rico beat Canada 4-1. New Jersey came from behind to beat Michigan 5-4. And in 12 innings, Mexico beat Korea 7-6. That's why we're starting so late. More than 2 hours late. Supposed to be a 6 o'clock start, and we started at 8:17. It's all right. Still middle of the day in Hawaii. Pearl City unbeaten on the All-Star season, 14-0. Swing and a miss, fouled it back into the glove, and the inning is over. Presley Bromberg, a 1-2-3 first, and the Keystone Little League comes to the plate next. Just underway in the nightcap between Pearl City, Hawaii, and Keystone from Tampa, Florida. And we told you it's been dramatic for Keystone. Came from behind in the 9th on Sunday, trailed 4-1 in the 9th, won it 5-4. Bottom of the 7th on Monday, trailed 2-0 with 1 out, nobody on base, came back to win it 3-2. So they've had late drama. They have not hit very much, only 1 hit in the first 6 innings of each game. We'll see if they can get the bats going a little bit earlier against Pearl City, Hawaii today. Troutman, Fraser, Good, Shearer, Melamut, Bromberg, McCaffrey. Really solid 1 through 7. Trodden, Graymore, Hicks, Marcharana, and Nolan round out the lineup for Keystone Little League, Northwest Tampa, Florida. Riley Omine delivers a fastball upstairs, and right away you can tell he's got some run on that fastball. Through 97 pitches on Thursday, beating Douglas, Arizona in the West Region semifinal, which had been delayed from Wednesday. And so that meant he was not available to pitch here until yesterday. Boston Schwager pitched the championship game Thursday night. He wasn't available to pitch until yesterday. So nice to have those guys ready. That's hit to the other way by Troutman and into right field for a hit. We told you 1 hit in the first 6 innings of each of the first 2 games. Josh Troutman matches that total right off the bat. Pitch on the inner half, and really Troutman got his hands through that to hit it into right field. How will Keystone play this? How will Riley Omine respond? Snaps a throw over quickly. .5'9", 135 pounds. So if Omine looks big on the mound, he is one of the taller players in the tournament. There are 4 guys over 6 foot, so he's not quite up to that standard. Frazier gets the bunt down first base side, and Omine just got the throw, snuck it in there to Justin Kamana-Obula-San, the first baseman. Sacrifice successful. It's a good bunt because it's far enough out. Watch the communication. Onamura behind the plate was ready to call him off. He had a slightly better angle, but Omine said, "I've got this," and his throw just stayed close enough that Kamana-Obula-San could pull it in. Now Chance Good, the center fielder. Chance to give Keystone the lead here in the first. Instead, he finds himself down 0-2. Keystone 14-1. Down on strikes. First strikeout for Riley Omine, and he looks like he's settling in. Again, he's got some life on this thing. 2 down, and Cole Shearer, the batter. And this guy can rake. At the southeast region with a 285-foot fence. All right, that's bigger than what we have here. It's about 255 here, so another 30 feet beyond these fences. He hit 4 home runs in 5 games. This one goes to the screen and throwing down quickly. The throw goes into left field. Runner heads for the plate. Todoroki's throw is not in time. Florida takes the lead in the first. Josh Troutman diving into home plate. A wild pitch and a wild throw bring Troutman all the way around. And you had the sense Omine was finding the range. Pearl City going to be frustrated to hand that run to Florida. Worst fielding percentage in the tournament through 2 games, Hawaii. And yes, I know fielding percentage is not a very helpful statistic, but it's what we have to work with on the defensive side of things. 7 errors through their 2 games and now make it 8. Very uncharacteristic for any Hawaii team, let alone a team that arrives 14-0, having run through the West region like it was nothing. 3-1 the count on Shearer. That catches the corner. Shearer, a catcher, little head tweak. Sam Fontecchio calls balls and strikes for the great umpiring crew. John Budnick, Mark Scott, and Brian Diamond join him. Hit hard to the right side and down the line. Shearer will hold at first. Good start to this one for the Keystone Little League. Jumping on Omine here in the first. That one down and in. So Lee Melamut, the batter, takes a breaking ball for a strike. Melamut, the first baseman, had for me the biggest hit of that 4-run ninth against Bollinger Canyon, a double. And he then came around to score the tying run. Hits that one up the middle off the foot of Omine and into short left field. Another hit. More hits in this first inning for Keystone than they had in the first 6 innings of their other 2 games combined. They scored Shearer's an error as Presley Bromberg steps in and takes a mighty hack. Oh, there we go. Correction. 3 hits in the first. That's right. As the count goes to 0-2 on Bromberg. I was forgetting they'd already picked up an error. Starting pitchers squaring off. And time is asked for by Bromberg, granted by Sam Fontecchio. And a good start for Keystone. 1-2-3 first. A run across in the bottom half. Swing and a miss, but already out in front. Tampa, Florida takes a 1-0 lead. And Presley Bromberg on the bump. He's back to work when we return. Keystone Little League 1, Pearl City Little League 0 as we head to the second. A reminder, you can find Little League on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. The official handle at Little League. And don't forget to use the hashtag LLWS. Tai Takahashi, the Pearl City manager, walking out to the third base coach's box. His club looking for a base runner. They went 1-2-3 in the first against Presley Bromberg, and Riley Omine, the pitcher, leads it off. He just struck out Bromberg. And this one goes to second. Frazier needs to hurry. Just enough on it to get Omine on one pitch. I'm sure the pitchers would rather strike each other out, but their coaches are quite happy with one pitch groundouts. Keeps you more efficient. Frazier always seems to know just how much time he can take and just how much he needs to put on the ball to get it there. You can probably hear the wind still whipping around here as it did much of the afternoon. Justin Kamana'o Bulasan, bane of broadcasters everywhere. It's this one up the middle. The shortstop Troutman is right there waiting for it very quickly. 2 away here in the second. This is the Chase Bromberg Keystone wanted to see on Sunday. He was wild, probably nerves. Your first World Series game, walked several, was dealing with a lot of full counts. This is more like what they had in mind. Again, faced 15, retired 15 against the Barrier Islands from South Carolina, who had stunned Keystone in the winner's bracket final in that tournament, coming from behind to win 5-4. Coaches said it was a bit of a wake-up call, and Keystone came right back, crushed Richmond 12-2, and beat the Barrier Islands 16-0 to win the regional title. Luke Foratani, the Pearl City shortstop, stands in. Back up the middle. Troutman is there. His throw is true, and the inning is over. 6 pitches needed for Presley Bromberg in the second. Keystone bats are headed back to the plate in their half. Normally the Keystone Little League fans are in red, but you come to the World Series, you get the gear. Yellow and black, the Southeast Region champions colors. They had to bring some cold weather gear as well as temperature dips at night out across Max Bear Park. Riley Omine is trying to warm that night up because he's throwing lasers right now. Gavin McCaffrey leads off the second and quickly faces an 0-2 count. Dad Dan is the manager, also a criminal investigator, so not taking any extra cookies in that household. Gavin wants to meet Ryan Sandberg, taking after his dad, instilled a love of the Cubs in him. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. 3rd strikeout for Riley Omine. He looked like this against Arizona as well. They were up big, seemed like he was dominating, and it was just very straightforward, very businesslike. Here it is, I'm going to set you down. And he's pounding the zone too. He wants to be eligible to pitch this weekend. He's like, I'm not throwing 97 again. That would rule me out of everything. We're throwing strikes. Nathan Trodden fouls that one off. Trodden very superstitious. Has to sit in the middle of the dugout. Has to sit on one side of the car going to the game. And has to sit on the other side of the car going home. Taps this one to the other side of the infield. Propios didn't get him. Trodden beat it out. Starting from the left side. Race down the line and reaches with one out here in the second. Propios stepped up to get that in fair territory, which was a tight decision. And just great wheels from Trodden. Here's a look at it. It was close. There are replay challenges available to these coaches. You get 2 unsuccessful challenges. And we're hearing this is going to be challenged. Oh, that's close. That is very close. That is very close. Now, all the replay decisions are in Williamsport. And are they saying that the challenge is a fair foul challenge rather than a safe out challenge? That was the way that was explained to me. I'm not sure if they're reviewing whether it's fair or foul or whether he's safe or out at first. So we're able to listen in on one half of the umpire conversation. Sam Fontecchio, the home plate umpire, discussing things with Williamsport, or listening at this point. There you see the other umpires for tonight's game. John Budnick, Mark Scott, Brian Diamond, and John Kowalak is on standby. There's not a lot of great angles for us to help decide whether it's fair or foul. All right, it's clearly going foul, but where does Propios touch it? And is the whole ball foul? So rather than protest, or not protest, rather than review safe or out, which was a tight call, the review is fair or foul. And again, if you are incorrect, you lose that challenge. And you only get 2. So the folks in Williamsport taking a look at that. Romine had seemed to be cruising. And so Fontecchio will tell us the verdict. Fair ball and an infield single for Trodden. So Hawaii down to 1 challenge. We saw South Korea out of challenges in about the 3rd inning in the 3rd game today, the previous game, the one that was almost long enough for 2. And they actually never wound up really, I think, needing another one. Wait, Tai Takahashi has more. Don't tell me he's going to use both challenges on the same play. That would be unfortunate. I think that's what just happened. Does that count as a separate challenge, though, is my question, or is, since you're challenging the play, can you challenge unlimited parts of it? I'm afraid I don't know the answer to that one. So we're going to look at the other part of this play now. I think it's not going to count as a separate challenge is what I'm hearing. This one is really tight. But again, the call on the field was safe, so it seems like the most likely outcome, but not necessarily what will come from Williamsport. And everybody's trying to stay loose and, in this weather, stay warm. And we get the same result. Runner at first, 1 out here in the second. 2 unsuccessful challenges in regulation are allowed, so that's 1 for Hawaii. We're not charging in the second, is what we've been told. And a whole lot of things are reviewable. There are a couple that are not. So Trodden at first, Colin Graymore the batter. A couple players in this team who moved in. This is his first year with this group. A lot of these guys have played together, won state titles together. Colin Graymore just moved in from Massachusetts last year. Still a big Patriots and Red Sox fan. His special talent, this is a good one. I am good at building computers. You, young man, are going to do okay. And he had the sacrifice fly to beat Bollinger Canyon on Sunday, and he quickly finds himself down 0-2 to Riley Omine, who is doing his best not to throw anything out of the strike zone. Keystone scored in the first, a single from Troutman. He was bunted to second, scored on a wild pitch and a throwing error. Both teams 2-0 in the tournament. Had to play back-to-back Sunday to Monday, managed that, kept their pitching pretty much intact. Line to the right side, sharply through. Base hit for Colin Graymore, 2 on for Keystone here in the second. Maybe Riley Omine is throwing too many strikes. He tried something different. He went breaking ball. And give credit to Colin Graymore. Yeah, he throws hard. And the Florida hitters have been going to right field with it. That's textbook stuff. Trevor Hicks, the batter, takes a strike. All right, we have a chance to tell us a joke or something funny. Trevor Hicks has one for us. What job title do spiders put on their resumes? Web developer. Get it? We're going to get some dad jokes, y'all. I like that one. Now 1-2. Runner takes off for third. Late decision. And everybody's going to be safe. That just popped out of the glove, it looked like, of Onamura. And he was nearly making contact with the hitter, Hicks. With 1 out, that's a pretty big play. Takes away the force. 1-2 pitch. Hit it out to shortstop. It'll score a run. Furatani throws him out. But Trevor Hicks. All right, well, when you get it wrong, you get it wrong. And we missed the strikeout of Hicks on the ball where the runners moved up. So then, obviously, Martirana's ground out was the third out. Our bad. We're in the third now. Noah Balderas leading off for Pearl City against Presley Bromberg, who has been flawless so far, and ahead 0-2. Balderas, Propios, and Todoroki for Pearl City here in the third. It's like both pitchers were given a directive. You're coming out of the game at a certain pitch count, so be efficient. They're really pounding the zone in this one. Noah Balderas, one of the guys who keeps Pearl City loose in the dugout, trying to start a rally here in the third. In the air to left, long run into foul territory, and the count will stay 1-2. Six-team double elimination tournament on the U.S. side, 6-team double elimination tournament on the international side, and the winners play Sunday night for the Intermediate World Series Championship. Navajo, Mexico, already into the international final with a 3-0 record. One of these teams trying to get to Saturday as well. 2 strikeouts for Bromberg as he sits down Balderas with a fastball away.
Number 5, Noah
Propios, the third baseman, stands in. He gave them a real gem on Sunday. We told you how many pitchers they had unavailable due to their pitch count from regionals. And they threw Propios against Louisiana, and he went the distance. How about that for saving his staff? It meant everybody was available on Monday. As it turned out, Titan Takahashi didn't need a whole lot of help. Now 1-2 the count to Propios. Called strike 3 at the knees. Presley Bromberg is bringing it. Very quickly, a couple of punch outs here in the third. Says he sleeps in his game jersey the night before. Now, when you come to regionals and World Series, then do you sleep in this jersey or do you sleep in the regular Keystone All-Star top? I'm assuming it's this one. Ball and a strike to Curran Todoroki. Likes tofu. All right, Curran. Better him than me. Big Sylvester Stallone fan. Throwback. Bromberg is just pumping cheese right here, trying to strike out the side. Second time he's gone to a 3-2 count. He struck out on Amora on a full count back in the first. That's up high. No perfect game this time. First base runner for Pearl City, Hawaii is Curran Todoroki. Lennon Fujimori follows him. Brief delay. Sam Fontecchio gets the all clear. That is called a strike to Fujimori. Both parents registered nurses. He wants to be an orthopedic surgeon. And he quoted John Lennon to us. Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. Too true, my friend, too true. I mean, maybe that's where the name comes from. His name is Lennon. That's just a speculative guess. We don't have that much detail yet. Faces an 0-2 count here. You can imagine that is a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Preston Bromberg fans, 3 in the frame, 2-0 Florida, halfway through the third. An unfamiliar position for Riley Omine and the guys from Pearl City, Hawaii, trailing 2-0, and no hits yet for Pearl City against the Keystone Little League from Tampa, Florida. And the first pitch to Trey Noland is a strike. Noland, the 12th and final hitter in the Keystone order. It's your first Little League game of the season. Welcome. The All-Stars are using continuous batting order this summer. It's been used in many leagues in the regular season over the years. Everybody on the roster is in the lineup. All 12, 13, 14, 11, however many you have, that's how long your lineup is. And then pretty much free substitutions defensively. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, 1 out for Riley Omine here in the third. I told you he wasn't going to, he's trying not to throw one out of the zone tonight. 33 out of 40 so far. A-okay, Riley. We turn to the top of the order and Josh Troutman. That one misses. Troutman singled and scored in the first. Keystone added a run in the second to lead this one 2-0. Gets that strike call, 2-2. Hit hard to the right side. They've had that spot. Second hit for Troutman, taking the ball the other way. And he's spotted something as the ball gets away. And he's still going. Why not? All right, I didn't think they got that second one. 1-0 the score. Troutman just able to take off and gets a second there. So we've seen that before from Keystone. And he's in scoring position with 1 out. Taking off for third. That throw is there ahead of him. And yet safe is the call as Troutman got around it. It's all happening on the base paths. And Josh Troutman goes first to third in the blink of an eye. Right, the ball is there in plenty of time, but Propio swiped and missed him. Meanwhile, Riley Omine has pumped in 2 strikes. It's 0-2 on Frazier. Infield comes in, trying to keep it a 1-0 game. That pitch just missed. You can see on Amora, the catcher, getting way low for these targets. Shaking his head. That is the Tony Pena. And Frazier down on strikes. So the infield can go regular depth here with 2 outs as Chance Good stands in. You can hear it's a bit of a madhouse right now. Good pops that one up, and no play. My thing with Onamura is you're going to go all the way down. What happens if you have to go chase a wild pitch or something? It's going to be harder to get up. But right now, with Omine's control, it doesn't seem like much chance of that. Oh, 2. Well, there it goes to the screen. Troutman is coming. He's safe. Second run for Keystone, and Troutman has provided them both. Omine seems pinpoint, but that one slipped wide, and Troutman raced in. Single, E9, stolen base, wild pitch. There's the strikeout. 7th recorded by Omine, but it's scant consolation. Florida adds a run, and this time we've got it right. Keystone 2, Pearl City nothing after 3. I think that's Presley Bromberg's older brother wearing his jersey in the stands and dancing around, trying to both have fun and stay warm. And Presley Bromberg, the Florida right-hander, has been doing a bit of both. His team's in front 2-0. He's faced 10 batters through 3, struck out 4, and he starts Logan Caleon with a ball high. 2-0 Keystone. Run in the first, run in the third. Caleon, Funai, and then the leadoff hitter Schwager here. See the Keystone All-Stars 2023 shirt. That's the normal red color, and that's got to be Hendricks, the 15-year-old brother, because it's sure not the 9-year-old. Ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Punch out number 5. You have Big Brother's approval. My favorite thing about Presley Bromberg was his confidence. He's, you give your moment you're most proud of this season. He doesn't just say, my perfect game to win the regional championship, which is a pretty cool thing. He says, my first perfect game, like there's gonna be more to come. I like the way you're thinking, Presley. Gets ahead of Cade Funai, the 12th and final Pearl City hitter. 0-2. Sit down in your seat. That is strike 3 called. And Bromberg, last 5 outs have all come on Ks. Had a lot of strikeouts in this tournament. 12 is the max we've seen. Back to the top of the order with Boston Schwager, who takes a strike. This guy can really move. Fouls that one back. Boy, Bromberg is pumped up, right? He's get back on the rubber and go. Hit to second base. Frazier in time. 1-2-3 inning. No hits for Pearl City, Hawaii. Halfway through, it's Keystone 2, Pearl City nothing. Fans from Hawaii on one side and from Florida on the other, playing in California. So why is everybody in sweatshirts and hoodies? They're certainly a lot warmer and in a lot better spirits on the Florida side, because the Keystone Little League has a 2-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the 4th. In the Keystone neighborhood right next to Odessa on the northwest side of Tampa. Shearer drives that to straightaway center and deep. Cole Shearer leaves the yard once again. 3-0 Keystone. Oh, he got all of that. We told you he put it over the 285-foot fence in Kernersville, North Carolina in regionals. He put it over the roughly 255 to straightaway center here. The batter to follow. We were waiting for the Cole Shearer power, and he delivered.
Hey, you're good with two.
That's strike three, number 8 for Omine, but he's probably still thinking about this one.
Batting for the Southeast, number 19.
Cole Shearer got a pitch down and hammered it. And it was not a cheapie. It was not any scraping the top of the fence. That was way back there. Presley Bromberg stands in. They describe him as a ball of fire. Does everything with furious energy, it appears. Out in front of a breaking ball and rolls it foul. Spoils that one foul. This game flying along to the bottom of the fourth, and Keystone scoring a run at a time, creeping out to a 3-0 lead. Kind of sneaks up on you that Omine's up at 64 pitches and Hawaii only has 3 at-bats left. He whiffs Bromberg, 9th strikeout, and Omine kicking at the dirt. Doing a little landscaping out there.
With 2 outs, batting for the Southeast, number 6, Gavin McCaffrey.
Gavin McCaffrey comes to the plate, and there's no saving Omine for Sunday. They're giving him this game. They would have had to pull him right there if they wanted him available for a potential game Sunday. That's a line to center. Schwager comes in, can't make the play. Frazier will try for second. That was a bridge too far. He's thrown out, and the inning is over. But Florida adds a run on the Shearer moonshot. Keystone leads it 3-0 through 4. This might be the critical inning. 2, 3, and 4 in the Pearl City, Hawaii order, facing Preston Bromberg, who has allowed just 1 base runner, a 2-out walk in the 3rd through 4 innings. Titan Takahashi. Big cut. No contact. That's a strike, 0-2. One of the mainstays of this all-star group. To the right side, Frazier again. 1 out here in the 5th. All the kids from the Barrier Islands Little League in South Carolina are nodding and saying, yep, this looks familiar.
Number 7, Kelton Onamura.
Kelton Onamura, the number 3 hitter. Struck out after a prolonged at bat back in the 1st. Omine has 9 strikeouts for Hawaii. Bromberg has 6. But he's got 6 ground ball outs as well. Third base side, charging is McCaffrey, throwing on the run, slinging it, safe at first. Kelton Onomura, the first Hawaiian hit of the game. Deftly placed, bunt single here in the fifth. You don't always expect it from the three-hitter. McCaffrey reads this pretty well. Onomura is just fast on 70-foot base paths. He got there in a hurry, and it was a really good bunt. Riley Omine. Don't think he's really planning to bunt, but bunt and run is something we do see, or bunt, take, and run. Well, he seems intent on doing it at least until he gets a strike. Both teams 2-0, trying to move on to Saturday's U.S. title game. Bollinger Canyon, California, and Ascension Parish, Louisiana, eliminated yesterday. Taylor, Michigan, earlier today. As that call makes it a full count. Toms River East, New Jersey awaits the loser of this game tomorrow. That's strike 3 on the corner. 7 for Bromberg. And there's 2 down in the fifth. Two outs, and Justin Kamanaobulas, the hitter. Runner goes, throw down is into center field. And a hold by Onomura. So in scoring position now, Justin Kamanaobulas, the hitter. Foul, should be called foul, and it is. Sam Fontecchio is right on it. Hit Kamanaobulas in the box. Oof. Wears that shin guard for a reason, but that one might have missed it. The games on the U.S. side this year have been so tight. The Hawaiian win over Louisiana 8-4 is the biggest margin of victory we've had. 5-4, 8-4, 3-2, 4-2, 5-2, 5-4, 5-4. These things have been tight. New Jersey winning in its final at bats against Louisiana and Michigan. Florida winning in its final at bats against California and New Jersey. And Hawaii just trucking along, forcing opponents' mistakes, but Florida hasn't made any. So it's an 0-2 count as Kamanaobulas stands back in. He's right on top of the plate. And he's rung up. Presley Bromberg keeps it moving. 8 strikeouts, even though he gives up the bunt single. 3-0 Keystone. Keystone Little League from Tampa, Florida, out to a 3-0 lead on Pearl City, Hawaii, as we go to the bottom of the fifth. This conversation between coaches on the Florida side was going on the entire break. We're going to have to ask them on our call this week what that was about. Nathan Trodden leads off the Keystone fifth against Riley Omine and fouls the first pitch off. quickly ahead 0-2. Trottin reached on an infield single in the second. Aaron Judge was a popular choice. Of course, Yankees spring training in Tampa, so it's either Rays or Yankees for most of these guys. Straight back up the middle and through for a hit. Nathan Trottin, 2 for 2 out of the 8-hole. These are the Florida bats that gave nightmares to pitchers from Virginia and North Carolina and South Carolina and throughout the state of Florida. So leadoff man on. Colin Graymore, the batter. He singled his first time up, chops this one foul. Florida, little unconvincing for me in the first 2 wins. Obviously, we said 1 hit through 6 innings in each of those games. Against Toms River East, they were being no hit until the 6th. But full credit to the Keystone bats in this one. The approach has been good, willing to hit the ball to the opposite field, hit the ball up the middle. Obviously, Shearer just crushed one. That always helps. Here you see how they got here. Tight games, only a total of 7 hits in 16 innings there. Right, the California game went 9 innings. They've already got 9 hits today, so more hits in 4+ innings today than in the first 16 innings of the tournament. I don't know what batting cages they went to yesterday, what film they watched, but it's paying off. State champs as 11s, 12s, and 13s. That's chopped to third, throw to second is out. Held at second by Takahashi as Propios flung it over there for the first out of the inning. And Florida asking for time, wanting to look at it. We'll see if they want to use it here. It obviously would put first and second nobody out if the call were switched to safe, but out was the call in the field. Looked like the ball beat him to the bag, but I couldn't tell right away if Takahashi held it immediately as he had to scoop it a little bit. Not pick it, but get the glove all the way down there. And you're basically looking here between a pitcher and an umpire for the sign of Trottin's foot hitting the base. So the replay reviews are adjudicated in Williamsport. We know Trottin's fast. He beat out the infield hit in the second. And he got down there in a hurry. And the call on the field stands. We could read the lips of Sam Fontecchio. So Graymore at first, after the fielder's choice, and 1 out for Trevor Hicks. Oh, foul caught the mask of Kelton Onomura, who appears to not be bothered at all.
You ready for the runner?
His mom's a loss mitigation analyst. Love that job title.
Good spot, Rod. Hey, go.
Oh, bad throw coming back, and Omine able to block it. 3-0 Keystone leads Pearl City here in the 5th. Winner goes to the U.S. Championship game. Loser plays tomorrow night, hopefully not quite so late, against Toms River East, New Jersey. And that's the 10th strikeout for Omine, to the horror of Trevor Hicks. First pitch breaking ball to Jordan Martirana. What's the pitch clock on this game? Like 7 seconds? Just get up and go. Both Bromberg for Keystone and Omine for Pearl City, wasting no time. Swing and a miss at the breaking ball. 11th strikeout for Riley Omine. But it's far from a triumphant walk off the mound because they have work to do. Hawaii down by 3, comes back to the dish. Well, you play to win the tournament, not to win the game, and that's what Florida's thinking. They pull Presley Bromberg, 5 innings, 8 strikeouts. Only allowed 1 bunt single and 1 walk to reach against him. Completely dominated, but he was at 63 pitches. And if he went past 65 and started another batter, he wouldn't be able to pitch Sunday. And so they trust Gavin McCaffrey with a 3-0 lead. Bromberg goes to right field. The right fielder Trodden goes to third. And the third baseman Gavin McCaffrey toes the rubber.
Let's go, guys. Hey, lock in. Just BP. Let's go.
Struck out 15 against Navy Ortega Lakeshore in the Florida State Final. So you're working from a position of strength. Told you he's a Cubs fan. 2 shutout innings of relief against California on Sunday. That's driven into the left field corner by Furatani. And extra bases, he heads for second. Leadoff double for Pearl City here in the 6th. And a chance for everybody to get up and cheer. They've been shivering over there with not much to yell about. So this was a calculated risk, and we were speculating that coaching conversation we showed you might have been, do you keep him in, Bromberg, or do you take him out? Noah Balderas, the right fielder, runner is going. Shearer's throw down to third is not made because the third baseman Trodden broke in for the bunt. Seen that done a time or two. 1-0 the count on caught by Shearer behind the plate to give his pitcher a chance for that one. That got away. Did it hit him? Unclear. Runner's coming home and scores. Florida thinks it hit the batter. And the umpire is going to confer, which is probably the best course of action here. See if anybody had an angle to see whether that hit Noah Balderas or not. My first instinct was that it did. Yeah, I see it take a touch off what looked like the back shin.
Luke, next time get dirty, please.
Maybe off the top of the cleat. So this is an umpire-initiated review because the umpires, they want to get it right. They're not going to require a team to use a challenge. So they're going to replay to see if this hit Balderas.
First and third, let's go. Batter.
We can hear the Hawaiian coaches saying, we're fine with this. First and third, let's go. The Florida players were arguing initially, and it was kind of interesting. I'm like, do you want to put another runner on base? You almost would rather just concede the run and move forward with Balderas. At any rate, we're going to do the logical thing here, which is solve it and get it right and not worry about who has something to gain by challenging. So in Williamsport, looking at this footage to try and make a determination. Different angle here. From there, it's hard to tell whether the ball's hitting the foot or the ground. All right, so the ruling is in from Williamsport. Hit batter is the call. So first and third, nobody out. I don't know that it benefits anybody in particular other than Pearl City, Hawaii's happy to have a base runner. Wow, they're bringing Bromberg right back in. Oh, this is a big decision because this takes him out of Sunday. He gets 2 warm-up pitches, I believe, and then it's go for it. Wow, that is a quick decision taken. They didn't want to let this get out of hand. And so we're back to Bromberg. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Bromberg, little sabbatical in right field. Returns to the mound having thrown 63 pitches, so they haven't burned him for the weekend yet, but once he starts a hitter past 65, they will have. And now time called by Tai Takahashi, the Hawaii manager. So we had umpires calling time for a replay review. Florida calling time to bring in a new pitcher. And now Hawaii calling time for a discussion. Noah Propios is the hitter. Struck out looking in the third. Presley Bromberg back on the bump. I agreed with the decision, quite frankly, to go to McCaffrey there. But very quickly changing tact and going back to Bromberg. Try and make sure of this game and worry about Saturday and Sunday later. And you can certainly understand that line of thinking also. Bunted first base side. Bromberg gonna make the play. Well done. Very graceful, slowing his momentum, letting that go at just the right time, and getting it to Melamut. But a run scores, Pearl City on the board as Propios lays down the bunt. Pushes it down first base side. Bromberg put some touch on that ball, some English almost, rather than throwing a heater to first base. Curran Todoroki, the batter. So this is Presley Bromberg's game now. Everybody confirming that there is one out. Now the count 1-2. Keystone holding the runner on at second with the second baseman, Frazier, because they think there's no way in the world Todoroki's going to pull this ball. So the shortstop, Troutman, was over in the hole. Now he's actually gone up the middle a bit more. They were shallowing up in the outfield, and Good is now backed up into more normal depth. Shearer caught that in the webbing of the catcher's glove. Count full to Todoroki, and you can hear the Pearl City dugout is as alive as we've seen it or heard it. That is strike three, down and in, tremendous pitch for the second out. Presley Bromberg, strikeout number 9. And Lennon Fujimori, the next hitter.
With 2 outs, batting for the West, number 4, Lennon Fujimori.
It does take talent to be a snowboarder in Hawaii. Full credit to him. Bunted third base side, they leave it for McCaffrey. Safe at first. Runners at the corners. Keystone wanting to get the ball and call timeout so the runners can't advance. Florida is thinking about challenging this. Runners still inching off of first base. Bromberg saying don't challenge. There's a lot going on.
Now batting for the West, number 9, Logan Callion.
So 2 outs. We'll see if Pearl City tries to run a first and third play and get a run with base running. If so, we'll see how Keystone defends it. Instead, bunt take for a strike with the number 11 hitter, Logan Callione. Pearl City had one hit, a bunt single until this inning. The starter, Presley Bromberg, was lifted. He is now back on the mound. Misses outside, the runner goes, and it's a free rein at second base for Fujimori. They have been differentiating between steals and defensive indifference, which always surprises me a bit. That's probably got to be scored as indifference. And the count now 2-1. Callione able to foul that one off. Second and third, tying run in scoring position. In the sixth. Got away. Runners coming from third. Now he locks up. The runners are caught at third base. There's two runners on third. One tries to head back to second, and they're just going to let him. Wow. That's probably an unusual circumstance. Full count to Callione. Payoff pitch from Bromberg. Tap to the right side. Bromberg bobbles, flips out. It's never simple. But two runners stranded. And Keystone, Florida is 3 outs away from a victory. They're coming up next. We go to the bottom of the sixth. The Keystone Little League from Tampa, Florida, leading Pearl City, Hawaii 3-1. Colin Shearer, the catcher, has a bomb of a home run to dead center in this game. And he made the decision, with help from his teammates, not to throw the ball anywhere when two Pearl City players ended up on the same base. And it worked out. Runner from third starts to come, then changes his mind. So Shearer's running this way. He could have tried to throw it, and maybe would have gotten an out. Also risked throwing the ball all over the field, though, and Troutman was saying, just hold the ball. Presley's got this, and ultimately, they were correct. Trey Nolan, the batter. Omine's first pitch went to the screen. His second is upstairs, and it's 2-0. Nolan to be followed by Troutman, who scored 2 of the 3 runs, and Jackie Frazier. In the 7th, Hawaii will go 12-1-2. Funai, Schwager, and Takahashi. So we will see the big Pearl City bats, or at least some of them. As Omine nears his pitch cap. Just low. Onamura and Pearl City not happy about it. First walk issued by Omine, who has been throwing strikes all night.
Number 5, Josh Troutman.
I think they're trying to confirm the pitch count. They want to confirm that he can throw to one more hitter. Josh Troutman, the leadoff man for Keystone at the plate, runs the hands up to bunt and takes a strike. Al Capone, throw me a curve. Actually has not made its way to my shelf yet. Hits a short, it threw for a hit. Nolan heads for third, trouble picking the ball up. And headed to second is Troutman. Of course he is. Not the first time we've seen him take an extra base today. Second and third, nobody out for Keystone. I kept waiting and waiting, looking at second base, waiting for Troutman to appear, and sure enough. It's a lot easier to watch a game in temperature that with the wind chill feels like it's in the 40s when your club's winning. Omine ought to get a big hand here. He struck out 11. He walked 1. And at 95 pitches, he has to come out. You folks need new gloves, new spots on the field, and it will be Boston Schwager to pitch.
Number 12, Boston Schwager.
If this score holds, I would expect him to start against Toms River East, New Jersey tomorrow. But that is far from a certainty. Third error charge to Hawaii against Todoroki for not getting the ball back in. And then, actually, I think a throwing error maybe that let Troutman move up to second. What a turnaround for Keystone. Again, I know I keep going back to this, but they did not hit well or consistently in their first 2 games here. And today, against a very good arm in Omine, 10 hits now. Second and third, nobody out, and Jackie Frazier, the batter. Smallest in the tournament at 4'10" and 80 pounds. And he has an outsized impact on games. Infield is in for Pearl City. Ran the hands up to bunt and pulled it back. His dad, Jason, an assistant coach on the team, the Toronto Blue Jays all-time appearance leader. But he was pitching for the Royals from what Jackie can remember, so his favorite team is still the Royals. He's now a big fan of Bobby Witt Jr. Here's Jason Frazier. Very good career as a middle reliever. That is bunted out in front of the plate. Runner coming home. Underhand not ready for it. The run scores. 4-1 Keystone. Catcher Onomura was saying throw to first, so when Omine came home, Onomura didn't look ready for it. Sorry, when Schwager came home. Here's the bunt. The point to first base, and then Schwager's flip caught him by surprise. There's Frazier's bunt out in front. Clear call from the catcher, and Schwager not going with it. They throw back to Schwager here, and Frazier takes second. So second and third, nobody out. Infield in. This is getting familiar. Good was ready to run for first. Not yet. One more strike. They give Frazier a bunt single. And now Good is down on strikes. One away.
With one out, batting for the Southeast, number 21, Cole Shearer.
So here's Shearer. Lefty on lefty. Hit hard. Diving play, but foul. Foul to call at first base. Schwager works at lightning pace also. 0-2. What a performance from Keystone. Did not expect this in all phases of the game today. Not that I didn't expect it to be good, but did not expect a double-digit hit attack. Error-free ball on the other side.
Here we go, let's go right here. Yes, sir.
Called strike 3 at the knees. Second strikeout for Schwager. And Lee Melima, the batter. Run already home on Jackie Frazier's bunt. Brought in Trey Noland, who had walked. He's the only walk issued by Omine. Runs in the first, third, fourth, and now the sixth for Keystone. And pretty comprehensive, and deserved their lead in this game. They would advance to Saturday's final, get to rest the pitching. Chance Good pitched Monday's game, and he would be available Saturday. That's probably who would pitch. And then if they got to Sunday, that would be anybody's guess. Back up the middle, under the glove of Fortitani. One run is scored. Throw coming in, another one will score. 6-1, and that's airmail to center. 6-1 Florida. Lee Melima may have just put it out of reach.
Now batting for the Southeast, number 19, Presley Bromberg.
That one to the screen. Runner heads for third, and Onomura wisely holds the ball. This is Melima single up the middle. Fortitani getting over, didn't stay down, and you can see him put his head on his hands. Bromberg hits this to the right side, races for the bag, and Omine got there first. Those two have gone mano a mano. But 3 more runs come across for Florida. Presley Bromberg will try to finish this off. Florida 3 outs away from Saturday.
The winner will get $106.
Jackie Frazier and the Keystone Little League from Tampa, Florida, 3 outs away from playing for the U.S. Championship on Saturday. Cade Funai leads off the 7th for Pearl City, Hawaii. Keystone is 14-1, 8-0 in Florida, Their only loss this summer to Barrier Island, South Carolina, when they avenged that loss just a day later. I still like a full double elimination tournament, but that's a story for another time, because Kate Benai put that one in the gap. Headed for second, and he gets in there. Frazier had the ball come out. Lead-off double here in the 7th. Bromberg was certainly going to be in the zone. And at second, might have had him if Frazier had the ball. Couldn't come up with it cleanly. So top of the Pearl City order coming up. Two games for you tomorrow at 3 o'clock Pacific in the international bracket. West Seoul, South Korea, and Guaynabo, Puerto Rico will battle for the right to play Navajoa, Mexico in Saturday's final. And then at 6 o'clock, or an hour after the 3 o'clock game ends, we'll have Toms River East, New Jersey against one of these teams. Obviously, as you can see right now, it would be Hawaii. Oh, they got some smiles and some laughs. They were all smiles between innings. Colin Shearer, the catcher, was pumped because somebody in his family won the 50-50 drawing. And now they've got Bromberg cracking up on the mound. So Keystone coaches knew just what to say. 2-0 the count on Schwager. That's one of the better mound visits, one of the more effective ones we've seen. Strike on the outside corner, strike on the inside corner, stick your tongue out, and deliver. Payoff pitch. We'll do it again. Upstairs, ball 4. 2 runners on for Pearl City here in the 7th. And he's nearing his pitch count. 95, the max for a 13-year-old. You could finish the hitter. Titan Takahashi, the batter. Showed bunt, and third baseman McCaffrey came way in. Going back to the bunt take approach Pearl City used against Tyson Moran from Louisiana on Sunday. That's stroked into center field for a hit. Good lost his footing, and all the way to third goes Schwager. 6-2 Florida's lead, and Hawaii on the move. This place has come alive. Where was this for the first 6 innings? Great swing by Takahashi, driving this up the middle. Frazier, a game effort, but couldn't get to it. Those insurance runs in the bottom of the 6th are looking real nice right now for Keystone. Kelton Onomura, the batter. It's the last one for Presley Bromberg, who's been brilliant, but finally gets charged with a run here in the 7th. Runner heads down to second. Florida's not going to pay him too much attention. Inside, Onomura spun out of the way. He would have liked to get hit, but it didn't quite reach him. Riley Omine waits on deck. Pearl City trying to get the tying run to the plate. Onomura down on strikes with a high fastball. And that'll be the day for Bromberg. 11th or 10th strikeout, I should say. They need 2 more outs to get to the U.S. title game. Where will they come from? Lee Melamutt strides to the dugout for a glove change. Will he be the choice? 2 shutout innings and stayed to 20 pitches against New Jersey. I'm just glad he didn't pull out a glove that you could see into. So Bromberg to the outfield. And Melamutt, in the sudden quiet, had been a real din on this infield. Goes through his warm-up tosses. He'll be facing 4 and 5 in the Hawaii order. Riley Omine, followed by Justin Kamana Obolasan. And trying to send Florida to the U.S. Championship game on Saturday. Bromberg goes to right. Oh, he's going to right for the 2nd time today. And what does that mean? Trodden is at first, and Melamutt moves from first to the mound. There's Nathan Trodden. Second and third, 1 out. Riley Omine bats for Pearl City, trying to pull off a stunning comeback of their own, and Omine gets plunked. Bases loaded, and the tying run is going to come to the plate. I did not see that coming. 6-1 coming into the 7th. Seemed like a foregone conclusion. Not so fast, my friend. Kamana Obolasan, the hitter. Did that catch him on the elbow? It did. Forces in a run. 6-3 ball game. Can Pearl City do to Keystone what Keystone did to Bollinger Canyon, did to Toms River East? All right, back to Gavin McCaffrey. Trodden to third, Melima to first, I'm guessing. I believe Trodden has played every position on the field this year. Maybe he hasn't caught. McCaffrey entered in the 6th, trying to save Bromberg for Sunday. He gave up a double and hit a batter. There have now been 3 Hawaii hitters hit, and then they brought Bromberg back in. He closed out the 6th cleanly, but ran into trouble in the 7th.
Now pitching for the Southeast, number 6, Gavin McCaffrey.
One more warm-up for Gavin McCaffrey. He's going to face Luke Furitani, the shortstop, who doubled and scored to kickstart the Pearl City offense in the 6th. Here we go, bases loaded, 1 out, top of the 7th. Tying run is at first base. That one gets away. Runner hesitated, comes home. 6-4, tying run in scoring position. Is this really happening? A 6-1 lead in the 7th, all but evaporated. Three balls, no strikes to Furitani. Noah Balderas on deck. Who did Furitani hit his double against? It was McCaffrey. Gets the courtesy strike. Keystone, Florida led 6-1 coming into the inning. Now Hawaii has the tying run in scoring position. Runners might be caught again. It's just going to be bases loaded, 1 out. I'm sorry to say I've experienced moments like this on the pitching side. And I dearly remember moments like this on the hitting side. Noah Balderas swung right through it, 0-1. And time granted to Pearl City. Troutman going to come in and try and settle McCaffrey down a bit. Double, walk, single, strikeout, hit batter, walk. That's the recipe for this Pearl City rally. Safety squeeze, bunted back to the screen. Valderas wants time. He hurt his finger bunting that. That one got in on the handle of the bat to catch the top hand.
Let's go!
I'm glad they can all laugh about it. So it doesn't feel good in any kind of weather, but in 50-degree weather, it's even worse. What a spot, what a scene. Pearl City, Hawaii trying to rally from the dead. Valderas down on strikes, 2 outs. As Keystone tries to hold on. Noah Propios. Been at the center of a lot of Hawaii's action. Bunt take, and the pitch is a ball. Down on strikes, McCaffrey finishes it, and Florida is off to the U.S. Championship game. Keystone Little League holds on for the 6-4 win. They are 3-0 in Livermore. What a ball game. Hawaii made it real tight at the end, getting the tying run into scoring position in that dramatic 7. But Gavin McCaffrey able to get the strikeouts and finish it off. 6-4 win. Florida plays Saturday in the U.S. title game Saturday night, and Hawaii plays Toms River East, New Jersey tomorrow night. Both of those right here on ESPN+. Our next game will be Guaynabo, Puerto Rico against West Seoul, South Korea. 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific tomorrow in Livermore. Final score in our game, Keystone Little League from Tampa, Florida 6, Pearl City, Hawaii 4. This has been a presentation of ESPN. For everyone involved, I'm Jonathan Yardley. Thanks so much for watching a heck of a long day of baseball. Florida and Mexico into the championship games. More action from Livermore tomorrow.